You're saying it's an all-female crew who are doing nothing. They're sitting in the rocket, and everything it's a Waymo for space.
Except it goes way further.
Right. The bill is going to be outrageous.
Hello and welcome to Is This Good, the show where we boldly, conclusively, and scientifically decide what things in this big wide world are good. Today we're back with another all-listener-submitted mailbag episode. Joining me on this trip to the post office, they put the forever in forever stamps, Jason and Rachel Doyle.
Hello.
Hello, and
Hi.
thank you both for coming. Do you want to get straight into it?
Straight into the questions?
Yeah. I guess so.
Well, you got nothing? No banter? No witty repartee?
How are you doing, Matt?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. I feel like I'm looking a little red on this stream, but otherwise, I feel good.
You a little embarrassed?
I have something I could complain about if you want. It's not really important.
No,
though.
please, go ahead.
Are you noticing where you live, people that have electric cars are running a cable from either inside their house or inside their garage across the sidewalk to their car to charge it?
No, I have not noticed that.
That's
Well, there'll be a
crazy.
picture coming up right here.
Okay. Wow.
And I see it
my
a lot
God.
walking around my neighborhood. Can you believe?
Like, this is the most outrageous picture I've seen in a long time.
Why would they do
Like the
that?
How are we going
cable-
to keep the sidewalks clear for children, the elderly,
Exactly. I don't even
people
think
in
that,
wheelchairs?
that's not even the right cord, I don't think.
That's a bungee cable. That's weird.
What is going on with this?
All right, let's get into it. Is this good, gang? I like to think about what I'd do if I had a limitless amount of cash at my disposal. Outside of the basic and boring things anyone would use this money for, getting out of debt, new car, new house, etc., I like to think about the niche things I'd do with the money. Some examples include pay my favorite bands to cover my favorite songs, fully fund the reproduction and remastering of every Tony Hawk video game for modern consoles, become the food named sponsor of the Sanctuary in Survivor with the caveat that I get to interview the castaways Andy Cohen style on their reward.
That's
What
so good.
super niche things would you all do with a limitless stock of cash? Thanks, Jimmy D. Well, I'd end homelessness, Jimmy D, but I guess video games are pretty cool too.
Oh, come on.
I actually think he's going to get his wish. Haven't they remastered all, or at least a lot of the Tony Hawk video games for modern consoles?
Yeah, well, I think so. I don't know for the PS5. I'm out of the Tony Hawk game, I have to admit. But I think it's been remastered several times.
I know we bought it because Jill was an old Tony Hawk head for one of the either the original PlayStation or one of those.
Yeah.
And it was definitely remastered for PlayStation 4.
Okay.
So, I mean, can you deal with that, Jimmy? Can you deal with a PlayStation 4 remaster? Or do you need the HDR quality of a PS5 remaster? I don't even know if those words are correct to use in this context. Why don't you tell us what is the Sanctuary in Survivor? Because I did not fully understand this.
Well, the Sanctuary is where good things happen. It's literally, that they say that every time as if it's like a trademark. You get to go to the Sanctuary where good things happen. It's usually, almost always, it's 100% of the time, it's a reward that you get for winning a challenge. And last season or the season before, there was an Applebee's sponsorship. So you went to the Sanctuary, which is literally, it's not as fancy as you think. It's literally a bamboo hut that's on the beach.
There should be a back room for like Fuck Fest if wanted. Like where good things happen, just leaves things up in the air. Like, come on.
If you had limitless money, Rachel, you'd ask for the Rachel Doyle champagne room in Survivor.
Yes, an extension to this little shack. You know?
What do they call it on The Bachelor? The intimacy suite or It's like basically a fuck room where you can go in and spend the night.
Where the producers are like, we don't have any cameras in there. Wink.
I mean, I love this idea, but I would want to sponsor other, I would want like Magic City, for example, here in Atlanta. It's like you get to go and it's just lap dances the whole time. Now that is a reward.
Oh wait, sorry, you're saying free? You're bankrolling free lap dances for all patrons?
Yeah. Well, no, I mean like
As a reward.
as a reward challenge on
Sorry.
on Survivor. You go and it's just all the Magic City dancers. Go on.
Or like you don't know what will happen in that room. Like it's a mystery. There could be a dominatrix back there.
Okay.
You might not be into that. But that's your reward.
Interesting.
Or your punishment.
It's a real Monty Hall situation. Choose curtain number 1,
Two doors.
or there's like a tractor and a pig back there. You know.
So you're suggesting they change the tagline to just where things happen.
This is where things happen, where you never know what could happen at the sanctuary.
It's a mystery.
Yeah.
Back to Jimmy's question, I kind of disagree. Like, he says, okay, after you get done the boring things like buying a new car, a new house, you know, for me, I mean, I don't care about the car. You might, but
Yeah.
there's something boring about a limitless money house.
Oh,
I'm
God.
already on Zillow all the time.
Oh.
Looking at a 1,200 square foot home going, wow.
Yeah.
That's
Imagine.
amazing. That's amazing.
There's a closet that I could podcast from. That kind of thing.
Jill, come see. This one has 4 walls.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I would be just as thrilled. Like that, I'm with you. Like, that is not boring to me at all. Buying a new house with limitless cash. Oh, my God.
You could start from scratch.
Yeah, we'd have a pickleball court.
Water slides everywhere. Indoors.
Yes, exactly. Build from the ground up. It would be ridiculous. An extension of that, I was thinking I would buy up every membership of our gym
What?
Oh, that's
from
smart.
myself, right?
Just so it's your own personal.
It's my own personal, and this place is massive, right? And then I would just invite people as I saw fit. I would be like the ruler dictator of this place. Everything would happen at my discretion. You know what I'm saying?
There's the Burger King and you're the Gym King.
That's exactly right. Exactly right.
Now, one could say with limitless money, why not just build a beautiful gym inside your new beautiful home? But
Yeah.
I like the idea of, no, it means more to me that now that I'm rich, because I'm used to going to this gym
Yeah.
and it's sucking because there's too many people on the machines.
That's right.
There's sweat everywhere. People are filming themselves.
Yep.
And it'll actually mean more to me to walk into this gym one day now that I have all this money and for it to be empty.
Right.
And no, you're depriving people who like to
Yes,
go there.
yes, of course.
exactly.
Well, if you're not making life worse for other people, then are you really a billionaire?
Exactly right. Exactly right. We're talking fuck you money, right? Like where it's kind of like, as Corolla used to say, fuck me money, right? Because that's the next step beyond fuck you money, because now I'm fucking myself because I'm buying 1,000 memberships for me, one person. I would bequeath them to memberships to the people that I liked. You know, the people that are there now that I like, they get bequeathed.
You get to go for free.
And the people that behave badly, like the woman talking on FaceTime in the women's change room, she does not get a membership. I have bought her membership and she's banned.
What would you say to your legion of pores that you've kicked out of the gym when they say, sir, isn't it true that you're at work from between the hours of 10 a.m. and 5 p.m.? Surely we could go quickly during those hours, couldn't we, sir?
Nope. It'll be fully staffed and will sit empty if it has to.
It's like the way a billionaire has a private jet gassed up and ready to go should they need it.
Yeah.
You're like, I might need to get into this gym today.
That's exactly right. That's exactly
And though
right.
it brings up an interesting question. Will you be working once you have this limitless cash?
Yeah, he will.
Yeah, I would be because my job isn't that hard. Let's be honest. I would hire people to do the hands-on part of it. You know
I
what
think
I mean?
the interior of your arteries say otherwise, but
Yeah.
I enjoy the words coming out of your mouth.
Yeah. I mean, I would still do this show for sure. I would do No Dunks, but I would just have somebody back there just doing all the work, and I would just be the executive producer, duck my head in every once in a while, be like, "All right, see ya. I'm going to play pickleball."
It'd be fun if you hired someone to also be you, and you just like, all right, I want you to talk about buying up the gym. Okay, so just get up there and do it for me.
Yeah. Wow, that's how I'm seen. Okay.
This guy Jimmy's talking about essentially Brewster's Millions style ways to use your money, right? Like,
yeah.
the only thing I really remember the basic plot of the movie, he gets all this money, but he has to spend all of it in order to get the full inheritance, and he can't spend it on anything that he'll retain after. So,
Right.
for instance, he buys the world's most expensive stamp
Right.
and then uses it to mail a letter.
Yeah.
So I think that's what Jimmy's after here. Because the truth is that with limitless money, I'm traveling. I'm buying myself the gift of travel.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm taking everyone I know on vacation with
yeah,
me.
hell yeah.
Now, maybe I'm buying a ghost town. I don't know if that
Oh.
fits. You know, like an old West style ghost town.
Sure, I guess.
I feel like that'd be fun to do a slight refurbish, keep it looking rustic,
Okay.
but a fun little hangout in the desert.
Employ lots of people, lots of actors to just be in the role the entire time you're there. They can't break character.
Like a Renaissance town,
Yes,
but
exactly.
Old West.
Yes.
Like Westworld.
Then one day I
basically.
walk in there and one of the characters in the saloon's like, "Hello, sir. Would you like a drink? Hello, sir. Would you like a drink? Hello, sir." And then his head falls off and it's a robot. And I'm like, oh my God, I did a Westworld?
Yeah.
I didn't even know I was doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, think of all the actors you would be employing. Like,
They need the work.
they need the work.
Well, to that point, like, would you maybe drop a bag of cash off at Quentin Tarantino's house? Something like that. You know, fund certain film projects that you've been interested in.
For sure. Absolutely. I would bring the art house film back and, you know, a theater where I bought all the tickets.
Okay. Sensing a theme. This world would be better if only I were in it. Well, in the spirit of Jimmy's question, what about Charlie Kaufman theme park? Okay, you would never see this in real life,
Okay.
but like you could have the Being John Malkovich simulator where
yeah.
you can go into different celebrities' heads.
Ooh, I love this.
Yes.
I love this.
An Everglades style ride from Adaptation. You got crocs snapping and
Yep.
snakes coming up as you're speedboating through. An Eternal Sunshine roller coaster where the track keeps disappearing in front of you.
Oh, God. That's scary.
Yeah.
Oh, well, Charlie Kaufman's mind is scary, JD.
You're right.
Man's
You're
simply twisted. And we're going to be representing that in theme park fashion for the first time. Complete aside here. At Universal Studios in California, which I've been to once, there's a big Simpsons land, which is really cool because it has a Simpsons ride for sure, but there's like literally a Duff's exterior.
Okay.
A Moe's exterior.
Yeah.
You go in and you can have a drink at Moe's bar.
That's fun.
And there's Duff beer on tap, and forget what there's like a Burger Shack, whatever.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
giant donut thing.
I really hope somebody's making prank calls to the bartender.
Oh, yeah. Every hour
Oh.
on the hour.
Great point. But I've heard that they might be taking it away to put in something that like kids like more, because you know if you think The Simpsons is going to end at some point. But even if it doesn't have the cultural cachet of a Harry Potter, and they have this giant Harry Potter world. They just put in a Nintendo world. What if they could have made that bigger? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So my point is that we need to preserve things from our old ways of life. And maybe if I have limitless money, I can go in and say, Simpsons Land, you get to stay.
Right. Right. And then replace Nintendo Land with the Charlie Kaufman.
I'd replace Harry Potter world. Don't.
Wow.
Actually, take that out. I don't need a fight with Jill. She wants it to be expanded. She says, the Diagon Alley is not nearly big enough.
Yeah.
Have you gone there with her before?
Yeah, that's who I went with. I took her for her birthday maybe 2 years ago. It was honestly really fun.
Yeah.
Nice.
It was very fun.
Cool.
Rachel, anything weird you want to do?
I would probably like to just give strangers and everyone Christmas presents, you know, anonymously at Christmas, and maybe even just send birthday cakes all the time to randos, even if it wasn't their birthday, just because it would be fun.
And then JD's like, okay, good idea. But then what if I buy all those gifts from you and put them in the empty gym locker so that I have all the presents?
Yes. I like that.
That would be fun.
Well, let's be honest. The real answer is that apparently, from what I've seen, if you have limitless money, you just get into biohacking and cryonics and cloning and trying to live forever.
Right.
And not really having any fun.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's not all it's cracked up to be. JD, when you were a kid and you had a headache and you took ibuprofen, did you ever wonder how the ibuprofen knew where to go?
I still wonder that. My head hurts. I take ibuprofen and it just knows to go directly to the pain in my head.
Yes, exactly, because you take that pill and it goes everywhere. But you know what's not like that? Deodorant. I used to think you could just put it on your pits and that would make you not smell.
Right.
But that's not the case. Many years of experience have told me that's not true because your whole body's sweating when you think about it. It's excreting, it's sloshing about. The smell is coming from other places besides your armpits.
Yep. When I take off my shirt, the whole thing stinks, not just under the arms.
Exactly. So what's the solution? I have it here in my hando. It's Mando! Mando is a full-body deodorant that goes everywhere, including, JD?
Your ass.
Oh, you changed it up this time. Yes, your ass. But because your ass is on your body, then technically that's true. You put it on your cheeks, you put it on your undercarriage, you put it on your belt line, you put it on the back of your knees, you put it on your feet, you put it on the palms of your hands, anywhere that smell. And in this case, I'm smelling like Mount Fuji, JD.
Ooh.
Crisp and clean like a mountain stream. Mando is clinically proven to block odor all day. And you know, ironically, who could use this? The Mandalorian. Because he's got that suit on. That Mando is sweating. The Mandalorian needs some Mando.
Never takes it off. Never takes that helmet off. He's
Never
got to
takes it
dab it behind his ears.
Yeah, he probably never takes it off because he stinks. But if he had Mando, he'd feel more confident. Living out loud, so to speak.
That's right.
Mando Starter Pack is perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice, like mini body wash and deodorant wipes, and free shipping. As a special offer for listeners, new customers get $5 off a starter pack with our exclusive code. That equates to over 40% off your starter pack. Use code GOOD at shopmando.com. shopmando.com. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. Smell fresher, stay drier, and boost your confidence from head to toe with Mando. That's shopmando.com, shopmando.com. Use code GOOD. Next question. Okay, this email is in 2 parts. Number 1. This question is this: are long-distance relationships good? I've been in one for about 6 months now where we live a province apart, and I really think that this one will work out. I love this girl, but it will remain long-distance for the foreseeable future with both of our schoolings going on. So as I always do, as I tell you, JD and Rachel, I write people back. I said, you know, here's a quick thought. Thanks for writing in. Thanks for listening to the show. A couple days later, he responds, something's come up, and it's urgent, and it's confusing me. So... is this good? This might be the most urgent email we've ever gotten.
Oh, dear.
We got to figure this out.
Wow.
So here's his
Hopefully
new
this
question.
comes out in time.
Yeah, great point. Is this good? Telling said long-distance girlfriend, who I haven't seen in about a month and may not see again until May for a friend's wedding, to cancel the trip she had planned to come out and see me because it's her great-grandmother's funeral on the weekend she would be here. I'm not trying to tell her that I don't want to see her. I just think it seems ridiculous to come and see me, who she could see again, and miss the funeral, something she cannot do again. She wasn't super close to her great-grandmother, if that has anything to do with your deliberation, but still, the last of her great-grandparents on either side of the family.
So
That's from Sean.
So Sean wants to tell his girlfriend to cancel the trip so that she can go to this funeral of her great-grandmother.
Exactly. I think Sean's not asking a question about long-distance relationships.
Right.
I think he's asking a question about being in a new relationship, being in love, being super into this person, and then having the first moment where you go, well, that's interesting. I wouldn't have done that way.
Right.
You know? And
Right.
which makes you maybe question her thinking, her ethical center.
Yeah, but
so
has
to
she
speak.
gone through with
We
canceling
don't,
it?
We don't know yet.
Okay.
This is
She
what
hasn't
we need.
canceled
We
it.
need
Okay.
you now, Rachel. This is your time. You've
Wow.
never been able to actually have such an impact on the future.
Thanks.
So what
I
do you-
suppose parenting 2 children, perhaps.
I think he's a keeper for saying, no, you need to go to the funeral. Or if that's his first instinct, go with that because you can't ever get that back.
But is he worried that she's going to be like, oh, you don't want to see me?
I think he can relay it to her in a way like, you'll regret this for the rest of your life. Like, I've missed funerals before because of things, and I regret them still, and I always will. Like, closer than a great grandmother, but still, it's not something you can just recreate and go, okay. The process of grieving requires a funeral. If not, it'll stick with you.
But, okay, I mean, totally agree. But I guess the counterpoint is Sean himself is saying, where is it? She wasn't super close to her great grandmother.
I know, but it's still.
So don't we have to trust her that she was like, yeah, I know maybe it seems to you that I should be going, but I really didn't know her very much at all, so I'm fine.
I don't know about this. I think it's a bad look. And the funeral is not for the great grandmother; it's for the grandmother and the
rest of the
and
family.
the rest of everybody else. And if they're like, "Where's what's her name?" Well, she's not. She went to go visit her boyfriend. You know, they don't get to see each other that often.
Oh, they're not gonna like him.
It's not gonna be good. It's not gonna be good.
They're gonna assume he was the one that said, "Oh, just skip it." He's gonna look like the dick. It's a bad idea.
But by simply offering and say, "Hey, if you want to go to this funeral, if you think you should go, then you should go. Don't worry about me. I'll see you in May." And then you're giving her the option. You're giving her an out, and then she's like, "No, I want to see you."
I know, but maybe he should really think about this. I mean, is she close with the rest of her family?
Not in the four corners of the email, so I really couldn't tell you.
Yeah, there's a lot of questions, and they all, to me, scream, "Go to the funeral."
Well, also he said they can't be together because they're both in school. Let's assume that's college. So let's assume they're young.
Yeah.
And they're separated. They don't get to see each other very often. Is it possible she's thinking with something other than her brain?
Her heart.
Her
heart.
libido is perhaps
Oh, yes, that too.
way to put it. It's interesting when I'm like, let's say if this was the reverse and he wanted to go visit her during his great grandma's funeral, like, and maybe said, he's thinking with his dick.
Yeah.
But we don't usually attribute a second brain to the vagina. We attribute one to the penis.
Yeah,
It's just a double standard. That's all I'm saying.
I hear what you're saying.
Do you feel like you have a vaginal brain, Rachel? Is that why you're looking at me like that?
I'm sorry, but often men's libido does take over the brain more than a woman's does. And if you call it sexist, call it sexist.
Okay,
but
he didn't.
Okay,
ask that.
sexist. I'm the only feminist on this podcast.
Yeah, no, that's not
I'd like to take all the feminists, put them in JD's gym, so I can be the best feminist.
There you go.
Well, good luck to you, Sean. Let us know how it turns out.
I would like to hear how this one turns out.
Next question. Hi, guys. At dinner last night, my brother complained that he held the door open for someone at school, and that person did not thank him. I've never understood why people expect gratitude for performing small social gestures. I help people because I want to, not because I want a pat on the head in return. When I hold the door open for someone in public, I don't stand around long enough for them to say thank you to me. I move on with my life. Am I way off base here, or should I be shaking my fist at these so-called antisocial asses? That's from Rob S. I wonder if we're going to have a different opinion on this, JD, because I feel like you, maybe I'm wrong, are going to be on the side of Rob S. Like, you think, yeah, hold the door open because you want to hold the door open. It's not about the person thanking you.
No, I'm exact opposite. I want acknowledgement. I am incensed if I let somebody in, like when driving, and I don't get a wave.
You got to get a wave.
Like, you have to get a wave.
Have to get a
You
wave.
almost never get it these days.
Do you think people partly think, no way they're going to see the wave? Like, because they're behind, like, so I gotta put my hand up into the rear view kind of thing?
Yeah. I mean, especially here in Atlanta, a lot of people have tinted windows.
Yeah.
You can't see him.
I'm putting my window down and sticking my hand out, waving furiously. Thank you.
Do you really you roll down your window?
I have in
if it's
the
not
past.
open?
I have in the past, especially if the situation is like, if you don't let me in, I'm going to be fucked here. So,
well, I love that move. The dire button move where you have to roll down your window and put your whole arm out being like, I gotta go. Like, the turn signal's not enough. You need an anatomical turn signal.
Yeah. But if I'm holding a door open for somebody, I want at least a nod or an acknowledgement or whatever, because that's what we are. We're a civilization here.
Yeah,
it's
I agree.
manners. maybe it's a Canadian thing, you know? Maybe it's
There's a feeling of, oh, you're so entitled. Everybody holds doors for you. You don't even look them in the face. You're too good to look them in the face. I think this guy, I think him and his brother, you know, when you grow up with siblings, don't one of you kind of take the role of the kind of the appeaser and the other one's maybe more of the shit disturber? I mean, your mother and her twin sister, I feel like they had that kind of a dynamic. Like maybe he was always the one who didn't want to stir the pot. And that was how it kind of worked out. And the other guy was like, okay, I'll be the emotional grenade for the pair of us. I don't know.
Right. He's probably just like, yeah, just get over it already.
Yeah, because he's sick and tired of it and doesn't want to deal with it anymore.
I don't want to hear this, yeah.
Yeah, but he's wrong.
Yeah, he is. He is wrong.
He's not totally wrong. It would be easier if we just didn't let the small shit bother us, right?
But I don't think it's small, really, because let's take the thank you out of it. Because maybe what the problem is, like, he's saying I don't need to be thanked. Like, I don't need to be people like being like, oh my God,
yes, of course.
Thank you so much for opening the door. What an act of kindness you've done to me. It's not the thank you. It's an acknowledgement. Like, it could just be a nod of the head. It could be two-finger salute. It could be just a Yeah. I mean, anything that acknowledges that we're in a society, we're all moving through this world together. Let's try to make it easier on each other in no matter how small way that is.
But sometimes you have your head up, like people have their heads up their asses and they're thinking about something else.
Completely agree. Like the thing we talk about all the time. Okay, here's an example. The right of way when you're hiking is the person going uphill has the right of way. So if I'm walking uphill, you're walking downhill, you should stop and move to the side for me to go up. Because technically the person uphill has a better range of view and the person walking uphill, it's harder. And I don't even think that's part of it. I think it's purely a right of way issue, but whatever. So when I'm walking uphill, if people walking downhill don't stop and let me by, I get a little pissy. But then what happens? I come down and I'm coming faster than them and I'm turning a corner. Maybe I boom without really realizing it or momentum carries me and I walk by them. And I would hate to think they think I'm an asshole or that I don't know the rules. I know the rules. I just forgot to do it or missed doing it in this place. So, Rachel, you could be right about that. But we all also know that people are not thanking people, not because they're forgetting in that moment, because they don't think it's necessary.
Here's the worst situation. This drives me crazy. If I'm going into like a bank or a McDonald's and I hold the door, I'm ahead of somebody, and then I hold the door open, like to allow them to pass first, right?
Yes.
They're taking my spot in line.
They're in your line. Yeah.
And if I don't get a thank you, I'm mad.
That's why you got to do the backwards hold open. You walk through the door, and then with your, let's say, left hand, you're holding the door open, but you're still in front of that person.
Right. That's harder to do. And
I
also,
I think you have the upper body strength.
I know, but okay, what about the move of you go through the door and then you just hold the door for somebody who's like 100 feet away and then they have to
I know,
hustle.
that's awkward. That's awkward.
maybe not 100 feet away, but far enough for them to feel bad that you're holding the door.
There has to be like the perfect distance so they don't feel bad and you're not like, hurry up.
There's a sweet spot there for sure.
Well, do you think Rob's brother should drop a passive-aggressive "you're welcome"?
Yeah, I do.
But again, maybe his brother has done all the emotional carrying for a while, and he's just not. I don't know.
What are you talking about? This
Yeah,
emotional,
what are you getting into the head of
what
these two brothers like they're
going
fucking
deep.
Romulus and Remus?
I'm
or
going
something?
deep.
So it's like
I'm going to assume a lot about your relationship based on this.
We have to make
3-sentence
assumptions
email.
for this.
We do.
I guess.
We do. Oh, Rachel, speaking of feminism, you're going to love this question. Hey, Matt, JD, and Rachel. In light of Lauren Sanchez and Katy Perry going to space, I've got to know, is commercial space travel even good? I view astronauts as heroes. It's incredibly brave to push the frontier of humanity. There are only a select few people on the planet who have the combination of scientific knowledge, piloting skills, physical fitness, and courage to successfully be an astronaut. Commercial spaceflight should be incredible, and yet now that it's here, it leaves me rolling my eyes. When Lauren Sanchez and Katy Perry tell me that watching them going to space should be seen as an inspiration to new generations, I feel belittled and gaslit. I don't think there's anything inspiring about paying to go to space. And frankly, I think governments need to step in and regulate the hell out of these private space companies because it's setting up a dangerous precedent that space is now a destination rather than a subject of study. What do you think? That's from Jake. Well, Jake, I think this is Gail King erasure, okay?
Wow.
Because your email did not mention that Gail King is also going to space.
That's
on
right.
this
Same rocket?
spacecraft.
Same rocket?
Same rocket.
Wow.
All-female team.
Okay.
Gail King,
right.
she's in.
Okay.
Jeff Bezos' wife, she's in. Katy Perry, she's in.
Who's driving?
Well, that's the thing, JD. There is no driver.
Right.
It's a fully automated mission.
Oh my God, I hope
So-
this isn't that submarine incident redo.
Yeah.
That's-
Again, people are paying for it. The money, it can, like, they could kind of gouge these rich people, and the money can go for more scientific research, and they could be the guinea pigs. I mean, to make it more open to everyone else.
Well, I'm fine, putting those 3 in a rocket.
JD, you do realize that the Blue Origin, this spaceship they're going to be on, it already has sent people to space.
Yeah, no, I know.
Like, we don't need to go backwards to
Right.
just
Right.
whatever. Who is the Laika? The
But you
Russian
don't know where
dog
they're
in space.
sending them. Maybe they're sending them to a new destination.
Right. Right. Yeah. I mean, somebody could just, flick one switch and then it just keeps on going, like, whoopsie.
Ooh, past the Carmen line.
At the end of the day, like, this sort of the space tourism, as I have heard and read, it greatly lowers the cost of space travel, which means that makes the scientific portion of it more affordable and accessible, right? Do I love that it's just rich people going into space? Not really, but
But take their money and use it to explore for when we need to get out there.
I don't. But are they charging them? I don't.
They
To
have
me,
to
this
be.
seems like. Are they? I mean, Lauren Sanchez is Jeff Bezos' wife,
Well,
who's
he's
running this whole company.
well, she might be getting a freebie.
You know?
Yeah.
Doesn't that sound like such a hack Borscht Belt joke? Like, my wife asked for an anniversary present. I told her I'm going to send her to the moon.
Exactly.
In this case, that might be his present to her.
Yeah.
To compare this to commercial aviation, like the Wright brothers were heroes. Mm-hmm. Amelia Earhart is a hero. Mm-hmm. A man in 1952 eating a steak, smoking a cigarette, and getting a blowjob on a Pan Am flight is not a hero. Like, I don't know that these people are heroes just
Right.
because they're early adopters, maybe is what we could say about them.
Sure.
Oh,
But
are people calling them heroes for paying for their
They're
space?
saying they're here because it's an all-female crew.
Well, they're fucking narcissists. Obviously, they're not fucking heroes. They are paying for the service.
I mean, yeah, your point is well taken. I mean, you're saying it's an all-female crew who are doing nothing. They're sitting in the rocket,
Yes.
and everything it's a it's a Waymo for space.
Except it goes way further.
Right. The bill is going to be outrageous. But Bezos has it, I guess.
It's like people were angry, like in the first wave of this, like the Lance Bass wave of, hey, why don't I get to go to space? It was
Right.
like, sorry, it's exclusive because it's only highly trained astronauts that can go.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's like, well, we think more people should go. And it's like, okay, we fixed the problem, except now it's exclusive because it's only billionaires and the multimillionaire friends of billionaires that can go.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, it doesn't leave me feeling very inspired.
Well, if they have to donate money for more scientific research and the taxpayers are not contributing to this, what is the problem? Like, it's expanding research. It really is. Like, every time they go up, they'll probably learn something new. Like, hey, I don't want to go up there again with Katy Perry. She tried to kiss
So
me
do you
with
think
her
they
cherry
debrief
lip
at the
balm.
end? They go, Katie, what'd you learn? Oh, I gotta write something down or else. Gail, anything? One thing that I did learn just reading an article about this is that, I mean, I guess I knew this, but I never really thought about it. Never been a woman on the moon.
Never?
But there's gonna be one. They're putting one up there.
Oh,
That's a weird way to put
They're
it.
putting one up there.
They're putting one up there.
awesome.
There's gonna be an upcoming mission, I think, in the next couple of years,
Okay.
where they're putting a woman on the moon.
Okay. I'm impressed
So-
by that.
That's because it's an actual astronaut.
Yeah. Yeah.
who's actually like training and putting in the like. It's actually really the opposite of inspirational when you're like you take something that for most people they have to work their entire lives to do, and then you just get to do it because you're rich.
Yeah.
While not actually doing anything.
Right.
It's actually literally the opposite of inspirational.
Yeah, because there's people on the B and C team, the standby team that may never get to go up to space who have trained their whole lives, and I guess Katy Perry gets to go up. Cool.
Yeah, 2026, first woman on the moon.
Okay.
NASA says. Anyways, I'm sure the Earth looks amazing from up there. And maybe you go, hey, from up here, I don't see countries. I don't see lines on a map. I just see beautiful blue water and green land.
Wow.
And maybe
Not
a good
Greenland,
spot for
Greenland.
a gym where no one else is invited.
Hey.
There's a perfect spot for you to park
Space
your
gym?
ass.
When I'm a billionaire, 2 words, space gym.
Can bench 15,000 pounds.
Oh my God, you could fucking bench Jupiter if you were up there. You could make the rings around Saturn your headband.
Yeah, I like it.
All right, next question. Seeing performers well after their prime, is this good? My specific example was about seeing Diana Ross, 80, perform in a few weeks. I thought it'd be cool to see her, even though her voice has deteriorated, and I can confirm that on the internet. If you put costs aside, would you see someone whose performance may cause you to reconsider your image or memories of them because they are far past their prime? Thanks. That's from Brad. I mean, I'll go to you, JD, but my first impulse here is he's asking about seeing artists past their prime. Mm-hmm. He's talking about artists that are in their 60s, 70s, in Diana Ross's case, their 80s.
Yeah.
But the truth is that a musician usually passes their prime in their late 30s.
Yeah.
I mean, there's obviously many exceptions. Mm-hmm. But as an example, I remember my parents going to see the Rolling Stones on the Steel Wheels tour.
I went to that tour.
Okay, that was 1989. Mm-hmm. Now,
Mick
the
Jagger
Stones are
was
still
7
touring.
years younger than I am right now. And we were like,
oh my God.
these guys, you're going to see the Rolling Stones? They're fucking grandfathers.
Steel wheels or wagon wheels? I mean,
Whoa! Was that the lead in the article you wrote for the Toronto Star?
Yeah, pretty much. Sorry, I interrupted you, but go ahead.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I remember even at the time they were like, "Oh, let's go see this sort of nostalgia." I mean, Steel Wheels has its defenders to be sure, and looking back on it, I'm sure it's better than albums that came after.
Yeah.
But they're still touring now, so they were past their prime then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So basically, I'm just saying, like, maybe we shouldn't use past their prime. We should use end of life. Doesn't sound good, but
Twilight years? I don't know.
Twilight. Yeah, seeing them in their twilight years.
they might be too old if they need a walker to get on stage. That's
Yeah, well, but it's like the Frankie Valli thing. Have you seen like clips of him on the internet? He's doing some sort of Vegas thing, and they just cart him out there, and his face looks blank, and it's really the back. Like that is like way too far.
Yeah. I mean, there reaches a point where it's just kind of sad. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like if you watch the fundraiser for the LA fires, they had Stills and Nash were together.
Oh, Graham Nash, yeah.
And it was just like, oh God. And Joni Mitchell, they brought out like on a throne, and she was not good. And then you see guys like Rod Stewart and like he's sort of Mick Jagger like in his energy, but he does sort of remind me of my 75-year-old mother up there.
So you don't think he's sexy?
How dare you? My mother is extremely sexy. And then, of course...
Tell her that. Mom, you're sexier than Rod Stewart. That would be a nice compliment for a woman to hear.
I think so. And, Paul McCartney I thought he was as great as he is, and I love the man. But he was struggling a little on SNL 50, I thought.
Oh, and funny you bring that up. You're just reminding me, I saw Paul McCartney when we were going to Ryerson in 2003, I think.
Right.
And then it was like, can you believe it? Like, this is the last time you'll ever see Paul McCartney. So get up. I mean, I saw Bob Dylan in 2001 thinking, all right, well,
this is
gotta
it.
be it, right?
We saw Dolly. When did we see Dolly?
Dolly Parton, 2000 something, before the boys were born. So 20 years ago.
Like, oh, she's doing great for her age.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then last year she was doing New Year's with Miley Cyrus.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So, like, look, I think it depends on the person. I mean, look at Billy Joel. I mean, he just had a fall on stage and people are worried. But, you know, he did the 100 nights at Madison Square Gardens, and he's fucking great. Like, he's awesome. So, like, you know.
He can sit at the piano.
He can sit.
Which is nice.
Yeah. The mistake he made was standing up, I think. That's what caused the fall. He was twirling a mic stand around, and he fell. Anyways.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, not good. But
Not good. But another, for instance, I saw Neil Diamond when we were living in Atlanta. I think this was 2018, and it was his last tour, and it really was. Like, he has not.
Yeah.
It wasn't a fake out, and it was pretty fucking cool. Like, I know that, look, when I was young, if you're young and listening to this, first of all, thank you very much. But there was a time when I would be like, these nostalgia acts, like parents seeing these bands that were famous in the 60s now, it's like so lame when there's so much good music out, and you can go to a rock club and see an amazing, vital band that's going to bring energy. And I don't know, now that I'm old, I'm like, I kind of want to see Neil Diamond.
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
And if he's still good and into it, you know, why not? Now, I'm sure there are terrible versions, like the more Frankie Valli edge of this, which, I wouldn't want to see. But it's not even because it's going to taint my opinion of their prime, but just because it's going to be bad.
Right, yeah. Depressing is the word I would use.
Yeah, depressing.
If Paul McCartney comes back around, I'd probably go see him. Lincoln went to see Elton John and said it was the best concert he's ever seen. And that was the last farewell tour.
Yeah, the last of the last farewell. Another man that can sit down.
Yeah.
So if you're a piano player, things are looking up for you. Now, there's also the thing where being old and sounding bad enhances it. Like, I'm thinking of like a late period Leonard Cohen or a Johnny Cash when he did the American Classics or whatever those records are called, where he did the cover of Hurt. Like, Johnny Cash was past his fucking prime. I mean, you cannot argue that. Was it still good as hell? Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
And him being old and his voice being slow and gravelly enhanced that song.
Right.
It did.
Yeah.
You know?
I just saw a picture of the Traveling Wilburys, and it listed their ages. Tom Petty was fucking 37.
I know.
Or
That's
38.
crazy.
And I remember being like, these guys are so goddamn old when it came out, you know. Roy Orbison, they were all under 50.
But that means that he did Full Moon Fever either right then or right after then. I think Full Moon Fever is like 89.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's a good example of someone who is releasing great work into their 40s.
Yeah. So go see them. If you're a fan, I say go see them. Right?
Yeah, go see them. Hi, Matt, JD, and Rachel. I frequent a trivia night at a bar in my neighborhood. Shout out to Verdugo Bar. I'm only mentioning that because it's important later. Okay. And after having a few drinks, I often find myself needing to use their bathroom. Their men's consists of a single room with a toilet and a urinal. There are no dividers, stalls, or anything of the sort. There is also a lock on the door. One would presume this is a single occupancy restroom, and you lock the door when you go in and choose which of these receptacles you would want to use. However, oftentimes I find I'm able to push the door wide open and discover a dude standing there, dick out at the urinal. I added dick out, but I felt it was important to take the picture. Is this good? I always feel like I'm in the wrong barging in on their privacy, but it is they who did not lock the door. Am I supposed to see this as an invitation to join at the toilet? Just walk in and say, is this seat taken? In a similar vein, what's up with guys who use the stalls to pee at concerts or sporting events but don't close the door behind them? So I push open the stall thinking it's empty and smack them in the back.
Right.
Thanks for all the potting. That's from Bijan. Rhymes with man.
Bijan with a B? As in Bravo?
Yes, and a J.
Okay, Bijan. Bijan.
No, Bijan.
Bijan.
Unless you say Mon.
All right.
To a Rastafarian, he's Bijan.
Ah, yes, of course. We have a toilet or a restroom like this here in Atlanta. I believe it's at the Albert. Am I mistaken?
Oh, yeah, they have one. That's a good example.
It's designed for cocaine use. Right?
Yes, that's
it's
correct.
exactly what it's for.
Oh.
The single stall is for doing cocaine.
Right.
Doing cocaine
Well,
on the urinal?
Yeah, but it's...
No, just in private. Just to bump off a key or something.
Yeah.
Credit card.
Yeah,
you know.
but they remove the stall. So there's no stall. There's a toilet and a urinal in a room, right? So there's no stall. So, many people can go in there, do their coke, and then come out, right?
Yeah.
It's a single use as far as I'm concerned. And if somebody doesn't lock the door, that's an etiquette breach on their part, right?
Yes.
So I'm just going to use the urinal. You still should be locking the door because it's awkward for the person to come in.
Yeah, and that's why I mentioned it's Verdugo Bar, because I have been to Verdugo Bar many times.
Oh, okay.
Not far from my house. And this has happened to me many times.
Right.
You go in, and sometimes I've opened the door to see two people in there not doing cocaine,
Just
both just peeing.
Right.
Huh.
Yeah. Now
They're
that
friends? Maybe they're friends.
Well, that's a great exception, Rachel. Like, yes, if you're both friends, go and you both gotta go, sure, go in there.
right.
Maybe they want to
but-
be friends or friendly.
Perhaps.
Well, not everything's about that.
Perhaps.
Are you
What
sure?
about a rule that says this is a single person restroom until 11 p.m.?
Then everybody's
You know what I'm saying? Like,
gonna
if the
start
bar's
fucking.
packed, no,
Come on.
stop with the fucking. If the bar's packed and everyone's drunk
Right.
and packed cheek to jowl and sweaty already, and
Cheek to
two
cheek.
dudes need to pee, get two dudes in there. We don't want a line here.
I hear
You're
what
both
you're
drunk.
saying.
You're not going to remember this anyway.
Just keep her moving. Keep her moving.
Keep it moving. Yeah.
Yeah,
But if
I
it's
don't know.
3 p.m., that's a single person stuff.
What if you want to take a dump and it's
Yeah.
past 11?
Yeah, then you go in and take a dump.
So
lock
you
the
tell
door.
the
But if
guy,
it's-
so we're going 2 by 2 by 2 in the lineup, and then you're like, sorry, bro,
Come on, let's
I got
go.
a number 2.
I'm going 2 by 2.
I'm going,
But
yeah,
only one man shall enter.
I shall be sitting. And
One
you-
man shall enter, two shall come out.
right? Yes, exactly.
I am guilty of peeing in a stall with the door open at a sporting event, like in a massive public bathroom with like 10 stalls.
Yeah,
I don't know why, but closing it feels too
Really?
formal for a pee.
it feels more to what?
Formal.
Oh, you don't want people to think you're taking a shit. That's why you don't close the door.
No, I don't care about that. I mean, they'll see that my legs are facing the wrong way for a classic shit position,
Right.
but
Yeah.
it's just more like I'm just going to be in and out, kind of. I feel like it's going to take me longer to lock the door and then unlock
That's
it. But,
very
maybe I'm
weird.
wrong here.
This is
fine.
men etiquette that I had no idea existed.
Like that's it. That I'm sorry to tell you is a breach of etiquette as well.
I'm sorry. I
Because
apologize. I will do better.
You gotta, if you're going in a stall, just lock the door, because a gentle push. Nobody's knocking at it, that's not how it works. Because if it's a full bathroom, people don't know if you're knocking on their door. I will say that I've been in this situation where I've had to take a dump, but there's no lock. There is no lock on the door. It's broken or whatever, and then door gets pushed open. You're like, stop. It stops short. It startles the person. They go, hey, bro, why don't you lock the door next time? And then you're in a situation where you have to be like, there is no lock. Like you have
that's
to
blaming
like
the victim.
exactly. No. Who's the victim here?
You're the victim. You're shitting in an unlocked
Right.
square.
But they don't know that, and they assume that I've breached etiquette by not locking the door, and they're embarrassed, so they lash out at me.
You're
Who
part of
is
the problem, Matt.
Who is the victim? But I'm not really.
No, I still think you're the victim.
I-
I've never,
Yes.
I've never accidentally barged in on someone in a stall and blamed them.
It's happened to
It's-
me
it's-
at least twice, where people are like, "Well, why don't you lock the fucking door, bro?" Like
Yeah,
that
you
kind of thing.
almost just turned me gay by accident. Fuck you, man.
Oh, I would have definitely turned him gay if he saw me. Like if he actually caught a glimpse.
Yeah, that's right.
There's nothing
look at this.
sexier than you taking a shit.
And JD, just to confirm, you shit with your dick on top of the toilet
Oh,
seat, right?
Of course.
Like you lay that over.
Of course.
If
To
not,
keep
it would be in
watch.
the water, Matt.
Yeah, it would dip almost down the drain.
That's
So that's how I have
the
to.
guy in the stall next to you would be like, "There's a snake coming through the." Oh, that's just the guy next to me's schwanz.
That's right. That's right. No. Yeah. So just don't assume what's going on in there. That's all.
Just lock the fucking doors, boys.
Lock the fucking doors,
the
boys.
doors.
Hi, Matt, JD, and Rachel. Long time, first time. I'm a musician, but not famous or recognizable in any way beyond a very small circle of coworkers, and I like that.
Nice.
This past summer, I did a recording session for a big artist who I've worked with once before. It was very last-minute request, and I needed to finish it ASAP, so I cleared my weekend schedule, asked my partner to watch our toddler, and delivered the tracks. I still have not been paid for this, but I'm thinking, okay, that's a little weird considering how big this artist is, but oh well, whatever. No sweat. It happens. Yesterday, I got a text from a friend saying, hey, I think that project you worked on got nominated for a Grammy, and they sent me a link to a social media post. Okay, now I'm even more pissed. You mean to say this entire team went through releasing the album, doing promo for the album, and then promo for the Grammy Award and never had time to cut a check? Like you guys, not counting Rachel, I'm also chicken shit. Hey, wait a second. How dare you make me read that? What the hell? It would make, but would it make sense to reply to that post with something like, "Hey, congrats, very happy for you. Would you mind telling your management to please pay the team who worked on the tracks? None of us have gotten paid.
Yeah.
Good luck with the Grammy."
Yeah.
I guess the question essentially is, if your direct contact is not delivering or keeps saying we're working on it, is it good to go to that person's boss or go above their head and snitch on them? Let's go to you right away, JD, because we established in the last episode, or one of the last episodes with Anna Saragina, that you email angry.
I do, yeah.
So would you email angry in this case?
Yeah, I would. You got to. You got to stand up for yourself.
And even publicly, like, would you reply, like, if this was on Instagram?
I mean, if
I actually know the artist, so I'm tried to think of another artist that isn't the artist.
Right. Do I know the artist?
Couldn't think of one.
Do I know them?
You've definitely know them, yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's who we're thinking of. Yes, God damn it. Well,
wait,
look,
who are we thinking? No, he actually told me who it is, but not to say it. So how do you know what it is?
Well, but I've heard of him, but I've never met him. Is it a him?
Yes.
I've heard of
Just
him.
say it, because it can't be right.
Have I met him?
No.
Oh,
No,
okay.
you don't
Well,
know him personally. I just mean you've heard of it's big enough that you've heard of this artist.
Oh, this is the bit. I'm talking about the musician who wrote the letter.
Oh, no, you also don't know that.
Okay. Well, I know a lot of musicians, okay?
Okay, well then name a musician that you think might do this.
Who might not pay?
But it's not
Yeah.
the musician. It's the fucking management that needs a
but-
whipping.
But we're, in this case, writing to the musician and being like, "Hey, man, congrats on your Grammy, but
Right.
pay me."
So the question is whether you do it publicly or privately, or
Yeah, or basically just going over the person's head.
I think it's steps. You go, we pay me in an email, and then finally, then you go public with it and say, hey, this person didn't pay me. And I think the person is John Mayer. That's who I think it is.
Oh, interesting. Well, you're wrong. It's Drake. Oh, no.
Oh, another.
I wasn't supposed to say that.
Congrats to the artist first. Again, go back to the management and go, this is the last time I'm going to ask you before I tell the person you're managing what a shit manager you are. So pay me. And then if they don't respond, you tell the artist. And then if the artist doesn't take care of business, then you go public. There's got to be a few steps.
Oh, and if you're going to go public, tell me that I can say the name. We'll do a whole segment.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Because I already don't love this artist. Tell you that.
Wow.
I'm just looking for a reason.
But the artist may have no knowledge of that they've got
Yeah,
a shitty management team.
That's 100% true. That's 100% true. One thing I've realized living here, talking to people, is like actors specifically, sometimes they don't even know what their agents are passing on for them.
Mm-hmm.
And then later they find out and they flip out. Like, they just like, I don't think that's good for you, or that's a step down for you. Right. And then like 3 years later they find out like, I could have been in that.
I could have been in Wicked.
I could have been in Wicked?
That's
The pornographic remake of the movie Wicked?
Yeah.
Okay, anyways,
This
get
is
better
tricky.
management, John Mayer.
Yeah, and like, it's bad enough that you're not going to get any piece of this Grammy as well because you performed on it. Like,
no royalties. Like,
no royalties.
That sucks.
So you haven't gotten paid for the session. That's bad. I mean,
Yeah, it's a tough business. Last one here. Hello. Since the times of the complainted area in the starters, I've been wanting to share this with Matt and JD, the concept of a song cleaner. The idea was introduced to me by an old colleague. When you have a song that you can't get out of your head, especially a bad one, you use a song cleaner. A cleaner is a song that has special properties. It can be catchy as well, but never gets stuck in your brain. The best example I know is Roxanne by The Police. I thought this was worth sharing with your audience, and maybe you guys can further develop the concept. That's from Hugo, a Portuguese in Oslo.
so he's saying that if there's a song in your head, I've got Baby Shark in my head,
Yep.
and I want to get rid of it, so I sing Roxanne by The Police. And Roxanne is not going to stay in my head. Is that like
That's
it gets
the argument, but it's
rid
a
of it?
dubious argument.
It's very dubious, especially with that song.
so that's the ultimate ear dewormer.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't know why. Like, I guess what he's saying is you want something that can grab your brain's attention, but not so much attention that it burrows deeply.
Right.
Like, catchy, but... Like, okay, I guess he's saying catchy enough to override the current earworm, but not so catchy that it becomes the new earworm.
Yeah.
But how do you know? How would you know what that is?
I think you just need to listen to a different song from beginning to end that's maybe a little bit calmer. And by the time you get to the end, You will have already lost the last one, but maybe I just have terrible, terrible memory.
Yeah, but what if that song gets stuck? The new song.
But if
gets
it's
stuck in
like
your head?
a little bit calmer, like, have you seen the? Do you have a list of the worst earworm songs? 'Cause,
No, go ahead.
boy, they're real doozies. The Queen has done a really good job of getting on there. First one, "We Will Rock You."
Disagree.
We will rock
Who's
you.
walking around singing that in their head?
80-year-old.
It's because of your walking.
Oh yeah.
That's how I walk around.
How do you hold the door open for people if you're constantly clapping?
Well, I don't. I just wait
We
at
Will
the
Rock
door.
You. That's the first example.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't
You don't
agree.
agree with
And
that
maybe
one?
that's actually a good song cleaner.
Oh, maybe.
Maybe.
Second.
If you think about Baby Shark do 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 baby versus
great.
We
Thank you.
Will we what I don't.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways,
maybe
go
the
on.
clapping of the hands and stomping of the feet would help get rid of the old one too, because
Yeah.
it's more interactive.
I think that's a good song cleaner.
2, "Happy."
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
Because I'm happy. That one?
Yeah.
A third one, "We Are the Champions."
Oh.
More than We Will Rock You.
More than
that's
We
for
Will
sure.
Rock You, sure, but still no.
"I'm Gonna Be 500 Miles."
Uh-huh. Okay.
That's
sure.
what that song's called? I'm Gonna Be?
Yeah, 500.
500 miles parentheses.
Yeah.
That's a great song.
YMCA. Ugh. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're Donald Trump, I
guess.
suppose, but okay.
Okay.
And
You know what? That song had a glorious 50-year history before Donald Trump got his hands on it. So let's not forget about that.
Bohemian Rhapsody is number 6 on this list. That's
Wow.
3
God.
Queen songs.
Okay.
Final Countdown.
Diddle-doo-doo.
Yeah, that's a good one because I think that's what people don't often acknowledge is that sometimes it's not the vocal, like the words that get stuck in your head. It's the walking around going ding ding
Yeah.
ding 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 ding.
Living on a Prayer. Jingle Bells.
Okay. I don't know.
Who Let the Dogs Out.
Who?
Who?
Gangnam Style.
Okay.
Never Gonna Give You Up.
Okay.
Don't Stop Believing.
Yeah, I can see that one. Maybe.
Uptown Funk.
Ugh.
Shake It Off.
Yeah.
Sure.
Beat It.
I'm honestly having trouble distinguishing what makes.
Yeah.
What's the difference between a very popular song and a song that this list thinks is an earworm or like
Because Baby Shark is nowhere near on that
yeah,
list.
Yeah,
and
that's
Baby Shark is
true.
number 1. That was the first one I thought of too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And currently for me it's Espresso, a song that I like much more than Baby Shark. But it's not my favorite song. But
I'm not familiar.
I think it's because it has that. It's that me Espresso, which is such a weird like phrasing and syntax that it gets stuck in my head. Maybe the answer is just get a song stuck in your head that you like more than Baby Shark. I'd
that.
settle for that.
Yeah, I do have a go-to song cleaner, and it's the theme from Hockey Night in Canada.
Dum, ba-dum, ba-dum.
Because here's the thing about that. It's sort of like I'm not going to compare it to Pachelbel's Canon, but I'm going to. There's
Okay.
there's two melodies, right? Like that sort of intertwine because it's like ba 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 bum 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 ba 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 ba. You know what I mean? Like it goes. It's two melodies in my head, so I
Okay.
get confused. I need to concentrate on it, and it wipes the old song away. And it's not catchy enough to get in my head. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think you don't hear it enough, especially now that you don't live there. To
I do hear it every day now because I've been using it for the Pick'em song on No Bones.
okay.
But-
any
yeah.
song that you hear every day is,
Yeah,
is
you're gonna
liable to
hear
get
it.
stuck in your head.
Yeah.
What's this theme song, JD? Da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na.
Oh.
Da-na-na-na.
Oh.
Rachel, do you know?
Yes.
It's basketball.
NBA on TNT.
Yeah.
TNT,
Like-
yeah.
I know, because then always stuck in my head is, I know a guy, he's a really nice guy. We used to sing that all the time. The song cleaner. I'd like to believe it exists, but this sounds like,
Yeah.
Hugo, this sounds like, when people yell at me when I have hiccups. And they're like, do that, drink water backwards. And I'm like, okay, you have a lot of ideas on how to fix this problem, but none of them are actually working.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a song stuck in your head. maybe it's just going to be there. I get
Yeah.
hiccups. I just need to wait till they pass.
I mean, I always have music in my head. Always. 100% of the time.
Really?
Yeah.
Even right now? Mm-hmm. What's in your head?
Beat It, because it was the last song that...
Do you want About the Bass or Karma Chameleon in your head?
Cool, Karma Chameleon.
About that bass, actually, I think it is a good one. I think that one does get stuck in your head.
Yeah.
Karma.
Karma Chameleon, I actually don't, because I think it's kind of hard to go. Karma Chameleon.
That's not
I
the
don't know.
part of it, though.
You
It's the
gotta
I'm a man.
Oh.
It comes and goes. You can't help it.
And on, over and over.
Like the Karma Chameleon is like the worst part of the song, I think. I mean, it's
Yeah,
great.
well, yeah.
It's great, but also the rest of the song is better, I think.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
So,
The question is, do you listening agree with that? Tell us what your song cleaners are.
yes, please.
isthisgoodpod@gmail.com. Check us out, patreon.com/isthisgood. You're going to get the greater good. You're going to get an exclusive episode every month. You're going to get a hangout,
Yes.
which is coming up. You're going to get access to our thriving community on Discord.
Yes.
My God, you're getting a lot here. $5 a month?
For all
Can we
of
jack
this?
that? Now, JD, when you're a billionaire, could you buy out our Patreon?
Yo, yeah.
Thank
yeah.
you.
The
I appreciate that.
Here's another thing I thought of about P-Hound related. If I had unlimited money, we would go on tour to all the P-Hound cities,
Ooh.
Okay.
right? And we would put on like in some cases, extremely intimate live show. Like
House show.
that's-
Like we do it in the living room.
exactly.
Extreme intimacy.
Or just like go out for dinner with one person in whatever, Perth, Australia.
I'll bring
You know.
presents and birthday cakes.
Love
For
it.
sure.
I mean, let's do it. I mean, I love that you have that much money and we're still doing the show. Could you just pay me out and pay Rachel and then we could stop doing the show?
Wait, you don't want to do it?
You don't want to do it anymore? Are you breaking up with us? This throuple needs to continue.
You know what? I'll replace you with Bobby Lee and Andrew Santino or something.
I mean, honestly, fair. I would replace me too. If you have topics, isthisgoodpod@gmail.com. Thanks for listening. Thanks in advance for leaving a 5-star review. For Rachel and JD, I'm Matt Austin, and this was good. See you next week.
Bye.